Live from RedZone Weather in Bruton, Alabama, with meteorologist Spinks Meganson. A severe weather update starts right now.
Severe thunderstorms going to become possible on your Tuesday into the overnight hours of early Wednesday morning. We have a level 4 out of 5 severe weather risk in place to our west at the moment across parts of Louisiana and Mississippi, and a level 3 out of 5 severe weather risk for parts of West Alabama. It's going to be an active 24-hour period, multiple rounds of severe weather ahead, and it all starts tonight back in Texas, where we have multiple tornado warnings in effect for parts of central Texas this evening. A tornado watch for the counties around Dallas back down to Austin, with multiple warnings in effect tonight. And this is the system. You can see the spin of the area of low pressure here that's going to push across the deep south in the hours ahead. At the moment, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4 tornado warnings as of the current time back in Texas. This is the same system that's ultimately going to cross into the deep south. You can see multiple supercells firing here near Waco, back down to areas near Bryan in Texas, and this whole system is working its way toward our area. Significant tornadoes going to be possible tomorrow afternoon into the evening hours, particularly across West Alabama, and then again in the overnight hours. We have a 12-hour window from 7 p.m. tomorrow night to 7 a.m. on Wednesday morning, when storms will be most likely to happen across our local area. Let's look at one model. This is the high-res rapid refresh model, and this is how it might happen. This starts at 8 a.m. in the morning, and we could have supercell thunderstorms firing out ahead of the main batch of storms as we get into your Tuesday. That look is valid at noon tomorrow. We'll zoom in, and you can see, again, supercell thunderstorms capable of producing tornadoes. Maybe a few long-track tornadoes will be possible here across eastern Mississippi and west Alabama as we get into the afternoon hours of your Tuesday. There's your main batch of storms back near the Mississippi River at 2 o'clock tomorrow, if this particular model happens to be right. And then into the afternoon hours across our region, we really could have a few isolated discrete storms capable of producing tornadoes, damaging straight line winds, and large hail, while we watch that main batch of storms set to come through in the overnight hours tomorrow night. We'll advance this forward. By the time we get into the evening hours, this is valid at 8 o'clock, could have a complex of storms back here in Mississippi near the I-59 corridor. Again, maybe a few discrete storms out ahead of it, causing potential issues. Again, maybe a few tornadoes, gusty winds, damaging winds potentially, and large hail all will be possible. Main line of storms arrives in our region as we get into the overnight hours. This is valid at 11 p.m. and then actually this look is valid at 2 a.m. So again, this would be your main batch of storms crossing our region. Lots of lightning likely with these storms, especially closer to the coast where we have higher surface-based instability. Plenty of lightning, plenty of wind with these storms. We'll back it up and watch this again. Here's the zone that I want you to focus on first. This area really west of the Alabama River. These could be supercell storms capable of producing large hail and tornadoes first. And there's the convective outlook under the model. You can see this is where we have this level 3 risk zone, mainly areas west of, say, Gosport back down to Tensas over here in West Alabama. And then tomorrow night, that's when I'm really concerned that we could have damaging straight line winds across much of our area, potentially knocking down a few trees, and power outages will become possible, just like what happened last week as this complex of storms works its way across our region. So again, here's your convective outlook, level 4 risk to our west at the moment. Many folks asking today, is there a chance this may be upgraded? The answer is yes, but we won't know for sure until we start getting these updates. The next convective outlook update comes at 1 a.m. and then another one comes out early in the morning around 7 a.m. So let's look at the local view. Again, parts of Mobile, Washington, Clark, Marengo, Choctaw counties involved in this higher risk. But even if you're not in these brighter shades of red and orange, even if you are in the level 2 risk zone, you still have a risk of strong to severe thunderstorms setting up, particularly in the overnight hours tomorrow night. So it's imperative that we all have a way to get urgent weather warnings across our entire region, especially back here in Mississippi as well, really tomorrow into tomorrow night. So you got to have a way to get the warnings. Here's a look at timing. First batch of storms likely going to develop back here in West Alabama from noon to 5 p.m. And then after that, that's when we'll begin watching this main complex of storms move from west to east across the local area. I think really from, say, 11 p.m. to midnight all the way to 6 a.m., unfortunately, this is going to be an overnight severe weather risk for many of us. Again, not tonight, but tomorrow night into early Wednesday morning. That's when we're expecting the issues across our local area. So that's what we're looking at Tuesday into Wednesday morning. The whole system shifts to the east, and I do think by the time we get to, say, 9 a.m. Wednesday morning, all of this will be to our east. And so this level 2 risk in place for Wednesday morning will drop down. But for our friends to the east in the Florida Panhandle, Georgia, and the Carolinas, there is a severe weather risk in place in the daytime hours of your Wednesday. You may be wondering, how much rain are we going to pick up? The answer, 1 to 2 inches of rain across the region with isolated higher amounts. Very similar to what happened last week. There could be spots in here that pick up, say, 2, 3, maybe even 4 inches of rain by the time all is said and done. And I do think that there could be more in the way of flash flooding issues with this system. Let's look at a few of the parameters that we always look at in these severe weather events. First thing to look at is surface-based CAPE, or instability, convective available potential energy. That's a fancy way to say how much fuel do these storms have to work with? And the answer is, particularly down south, closer to the coast, in our local area as we get into tomorrow night, CAPE values could be in excess of 1,500 joules per kilogram. You're looking at one of the high-res CAM models, in other words, convective allowing models. This is off the, this says 3-kilometer NAM, but this is actually the high-res rapid refresh model. And so I think the values here may be a bit elevated compared to what actually will happen. But still, I think that there will be plenty of surface-based CAPE in here for these storms to work with. This would be where your storms are at 3 a.m. and the whole thing shifts out to the east as we get into Wednesday morning. Same thing with the shear, in other words, wind at about the 5,000 feet above your head mark. That's called the 850 millibar height. And still, values looking pretty impressive with this system, in excess of 50 to 60 miles per hour. And so it won't take a lot to get that down to the surface. Just like what we had last week, damaging straight line winds will be possible. In addition, you're going to step outside tomorrow night and it's going to feel like a severe weather night with that moist, warm air streaming into the south. Dew point temperature is going to be in excess of 68 degrees in most spots across our local area as we get into the afternoon and evening hours. So tornadoes possible tomorrow afternoon across West Alabama, and then again in the overnight hours across our local area. Really, all of us here in South Alabama and Northwest Florida. Another thing to look at, lightning, the swaths of lightning off the high-res rapid refresh model, and you can see we are expecting a good bit of lightning with these storms. Could be loud storms at times, very similar to what happened on Friday. So again, have a way to get warnings, and of course we will be on Facebook Live giving you a play-by-play. Even if we don't have tornado warnings, I suspect this is going to be one of those events that we're going to have so many people that have storms tomorrow night that we probably will be on Facebook Live at some point. So again, plan on that. Many more updates coming in the RedZone Weather app. By the way, a sneak peek at the 7-day. Look at this. Plenty of sunshine as we get into the weekend. High temperature is going to be in the 70s, morning lows in the 40s. Very nice, very nice. After all of this weather action tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. Again, we're not expecting issues tonight, or really tomorrow morning. I think that tomorrow afternoon into the evening hours is when that we could have significant weather issues. Let me actually go back to this slide, because if you don't have this as a screenshot on your cell phone, take a screenshot of this video. This tornado warning checklist is great for you to have handy just in case your community goes under a tornado warning as we get into Tuesday into Wednesday morning. By the way, tornado helmets, a great thing. Have a tornado helmet to protect your head. That is something that has saved so many lives across our region and really our state over the years. It's a good thing to have. If you don't already have one, get a tornado helmet. So again, a level 3 out of 5 enhanced severe weather risk for West Alabama. Higher risk back to the west, mainly west of I-59 in Mississippi and Louisiana. But again, all of us have a severe weather risk as we get into your Tuesday extending into Wednesday morning. Number 1, have a way to get the warnings. And when you get a warning, number 2, do something about it. It's that simple. If we could all do that, we would all be in great shape. All right. So again, have a way to get the warnings and then do something about it if you get a tornado warning for for your specific location. I hope you have a wonderful Monday evening. My next video will be posted by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and I'll try to get to those in just a little bit. Plenty more updates coming over the next few hours in the RedZone Weather app as well. I do hope you have a wonderful evening. On behalf of all of us at RedZone Group LLC, I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson saying goodbye for now. See you in the morning.
Be sure to find us across social media, and don't forget to download the free RedZone Weather app and set up your customized alerts. Please support our RedZone Weather sponsors who make our coverage possible every single day.